Alright guys, hey, what's up? It's Zenith Gaming here, and today I'm going to be doing kind of like a review, or like overview. Yeah, this is an overview of the Sega Genesis slash Mega Drive classics. So what this is it's basically an emulation of Sega Genesis games. I have quite a few Sega Genesis games. Most of these games are decent. The main 5 or 6, I guess you could say, that are my favorites so far is Alien Soldier. It's like the best run and gun classic game, and I'm gonna be playing these, by the way. And Sonic 1, 2, and 3 are definitely up there, and Streets of Rage 1 and 2. These are Streets of Rage 2 is just the best classic beat 'em up game. And what's really cool about this is you can load it up as a simple launcher where it's like you just click which one you want to play. But I'm loading it up in this because this is a really nice simulation of what it would be like to be a 90s kid who had a Sega Genesis. Now, if you don't know what a Sega Genesis is basically the competitor of Nintendo in the 90s. And they made a lot of games. And the reason Nintendo was a bit better is because most of the games on Nintendo, you wouldn't really find bad games that much. While here, there's mediocre games like Wonder Boy 3. It's a pretty meh game. But then you'll sometimes find some really good games. I mean, I guess you could say the same for both. So what's really cool, you can look around here a little bit. You can see your bed. There's some little Sonic comics on the ground, and Echo the Dolphin, a little dolphin thingy, and axe in the background, which I think is a reference to Golden Axe. Yes, Golden Axe. I do not have Golden Axe in my collection, but it's a really fun fighting or like adventure game where you like kill. And anyway, here's the TV. You can just mess around with the options, like you can make it full screen. And here's the console down here. This is what the Sega Genesis looked like, which is really cool. Here's the controllers. Well, I'm using an Xbox controller because I don't have a Sega Genesis controller. So anyway, the way you do this is pretty much, this is not really the main cool thing about it. I mean, you can mess around with this. You can make change some stuff like the resolution, the hide room labels, and change your language and stuff. And you can also change the time of day, so I can make it like really early. I could be like one of those kids that would stay up at midnight during the 90s and just completely just stay up, get up out of bed when their parents are asleep, and just play the crap out of their Sega or Nintendo or whatever they had. But I'm just gonna keep it at a nice afternoon. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and start a game. So there's some really good games here. So let's start with Sonic, because Sonic is awesome. So we're going to do, it's a tie between these games on which one was the best on the Sega Genesis, but I'm just going to do Sonic 2 because it has the feeling of the first game, but the awesomeness of the third. So what you do, you go ahead and hit play, you put the cartridge in, your TV starts up, and here we go. Sega! That's awesome. I love how that Sega sound, like in the newer Sega games, it's just Sega, and it's like so bland. Okay, so I'm gonna hit start just one player. So as you can see, it emulates it pretty nicely. It goes at 60 frames per second, I believe. There is some slowdown, I believe. This is really fun. And this is a 90s game, I might add, so I mean, if you think the graphics suck, then you were actually stupid. Spin dash. Remember, this is what introduced the spin dash in the first game. You could roll into a ball, but I mean, you couldn't spin dash. And like, when there was a loop-de-loop, you'd have to backtrack and then get a good running speed. But here, you know, it feels like you always have that backup of going fast. And then you even go faster when you turn into a ball on a hill. We're gonna go into the special stage now. It still looks pixelated. like the original Sega Genesis, like the new Android and iPhone versions have it less pixelated. But I like this a little bit, so we're gonna try and hopefully Tails doesn't screw me over. Get these rings. Alright. Hopefully we can get a Chaos Emerald. So yeah, this is a very good collection. You have to buy the games individually, but I just recently bought a pack which had like 7 Sega games. It came with Alien, Soldier, and a couple Streets of Rage games. The rest are, I mean, they're pretty good games, I guess. Some of them are pretty good, but they're just not my cup of tea. You know, the RPG, I like RPG games, but I don't know. It's just they just don't feel like RPG games to me. I mean, I like the old RPG games, like I like old Final Fantasy games, and Tails just screwed me over. But I don't know. I mostly like the Streets of Rage because Streets of Rage is the best fighting game, and I'll get to that in a second. So, as you can see, did we get the Chaos Emerald? Yeah, Chaos Emerald. You have to collect rings and stuff, so mostly, this is a pretty good emulation. And, you know, okay, hold on. Let me just see this. I love how you can go so fast, because when you're just doing your regular running speed, whenever you're not into a ball, like this is the maximum speed you can go, but when you turn into a ball, you can go woo so fast. So that's enough of that. So to exit out, you just hold the back button, and then you can go down here. You can reset your game if you press Y, and you can change the emulator settings. But if you press X, you pull the cartridge out, turn your console off, and you can go back. So let's try Alien Soldier, because this is, if you've ever played Contra on the NES, imagine that, but like for people that have extreme ADHD, like so fast, like this game's mostly a boss fight, so you can change some of your stuff. So I don't want to be too loud, so I'll do that. Alright, so then exit, and you can. So then this is a pretty good game, definitely. So let's start. Let's go ahead and start it up, and you can change your stuff, obviously. You can pause it. This game was never released outside of Japan and Europe for some reason. This is an awesome game. Okay. Oh no. Oh, I got hit. Okay. You have to be skilled for these games. Oh no. Okay. Of course, you can look all 8 directions. I mean, these graphics are just absolutely amazing. Not really, they're pretty on par for what a game around this period of time would be like. So this game is mostly just boss fights, but I like boss fights. Especially when it gives me a challenge. Of course, you don't want to die. Okay. This emulates pretty good. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, I died. Game over. And you can put that in. Now let's move to one of my favorite fighting games. It's not really a fighting game. It's not like Mortal Kombat fighting. It's a beat-em-up game. Which, if you don't know what a beat-em-up game, then you're about to find out. So let's put the cartridge in, and I love that. Putting in the cartridge. The sound of putting in a cartridge is just so much better than the sound of a DVD or Blu-ray going in. I don't know. Okay, so we're gonna hit the start button. And one player, I don't have anybody to play with. And we're gonna do Axel, because Axel is pretty much the standard character. And now we're gonna drop down. So what beat 'em up games are is you basically, there's these dudes and you have to beat them up. And there's not really much of us. I mean, usually there's some story, like in Double Dragon, which is Nintendo's one of their beat 'em up games, the first and second one. I mean, the thing about those is, in those games, the cutscene, it's one of the first games with a cutscene, and it's basically just these dudes come up, punch a girl, and then you have to go and save her. Like, it's just the best cutscene. Like, that's all you need. And you can jump. Alright. Oh crap, there's the guy. So basically you move to the next area, beat people up, and it's pretty fun. You can see their health bar. Whoever you're punching at that moment, you can see their health bar. And the enemies have, like, a name. And it's funny, because, like, you're gonna be beating up a lot of Josephs. And lots of Donovans. Like, I don't know why, but I guess every single person in this game or whatever has the same name. You can also pick up items. Of course, this is just the best beat 'em up game. So we picked up an apple that refilled our health. Your second player can join in any time. This is probably one of the most arcadey feeling. Oh, we found a knife. Let's shank this motherfucker. Alright, let me get over here. Yeah. Pick him. Do the special move. Let's wait for him to come out, because the trick about these kind of games is they're gonna come outside the screen, and if you go to the right of the screen, they're gonna punch you without you being able to do anything. Let's just kick this guy in the face. All right. Owie. Okay. Okay. I'm probably gonna die because I'm not very. You die a lot in fighting games, and you know what? If you lose your 3 lives, you restart the game. So that actually means it takes skill, unlike Call of Duty, which you don't need skill. I mean, CSGO, I like that because it actually requires, you know, skill. But people who say that Call of Duty needs skill are... I don't even know what to say about that. It's just... No, it doesn't need skill, okay? Anybody can get kills. Like, everyone, like, and pretty much you get an advantage if you pay extra money for guns, which I don't, that's why I don't like Call of Duty. And I might be buying the new Infinite Warfare just so I can get Call of Duty 4, because Call of Duty 4 is one of the only good Call of Duty games. The only ones that are good are Call of Duty 4, Call of Duty 2, and World at War, and Modern Warfare 2 is okay, I guess, but that's kind of where I feel that Call of Duty decided to crap on itself. Let's just beat the crap out of these guys. Metal pipes are very good in this game. Picking up items is always helpful because it helps to beat people up. So anyway, the graphics and the controls feel really fluid. Almost, I mean, as fluid, I mean, it feels like you're playing, you know, on a Sega Genesis. And the thing about the difference between being an using the simulation and being a kid in the 90s that has a Sega Genesis, the difference is a kid in the 90s would buy a game and then it would end up sucking, but nowadays you can search up a review. So that's the big difference, because the kid in the 90s, it was really hard because you'd have to start looking up. And after I beat this boss, by the way, this is the boss too, so after I beat this guy, I'm just gonna probably end the video. So, there's a lot of stuff you can do on this, and it's really good. There's a really good emulation thing. And actually, the way you get this on Steam is just buy a Sega Genesis game. So that means you could buy Sonic, Streets of Rage 2, which is what I'm playing right now. It's so amazing. Let's get some money. So pretty much you just have to buy a game, and then it'll be added to your library, and you can have this cool little 3D room. And right now on sale, if you search up Sega Genesis, Pack 4, it has Streets of Rage 1 and 2, and that Alien Soldier I showed you, which is a really nice game. I might add, it's so underrated. I mean, most of that reason probably comes from the fact it wasn't released in America. But if you want to get this added to your library, get those. Or if you're a complete Sonic nerd like I am, you can just buy a Sonic game or two. I would recommend Sonic 2 or Sonic 3 and Knuckles, because those are the best ones. Sonic 1 was a great start, but Sonic 2 and Sonic 3 are so much better. So anyway, I'm going to end this video here. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. If you want to get this, just go to Steam and purchase any Sega Genesis game. It does not matter at all. And peace.